The Jehovah's Witnesses were expelled from Colombia in 2016, and it's a very interesting article. Let's get into it. Hi guys, my name is Monica. I create beauty content and I also talk about my experience as a Jehovah's Witness, and I create content that educates people about this religion or cult, whatever you want to call it. Today we're going to talk about how in Colombia the Jehovah's Witnesses were expelled in 2016, not from the entire country but from a specific region. Let's read together the article and find out what actually happened. Colombia's indigenous Wiwa fight back against the Jehovah's Witnesses. Yes, girl, I love it. In an act of self-determination, the Wiwa tribe expelled the religious organization for contributing to their cultural and spiritual extermination. The Wiwa indigenous community in Colombia has expelled a group of missionaries from a church built by Jehovah's Witnesses inside their territory, which had been perceived as a threat to the culture, traditions, and beliefs of the group. Before we go any further, just note that this article really highlights 2 points. It highlights how the Jehovah's Witnesses are an extension of colonialism or being colonizers, and secondly, they also look for ways to always exploit free labor and invest into it. As we read this article, it'll make more sense. The Wiwa have internal counselors called mamos who have deep influence in their communities and decide on relevant matters affecting them, including religious groups that may threaten local beliefs and customs. Jose Gregorio Rodriguez, a spokesperson for the community, said the Wiwa are worried about religious organizations wanting to indoctrinate them. Religion advances in our territories. Our children are losing our customs. They don't want to hear about our traditional law, Rodriguez said in an interview in September for RCN. The Wiwa are mainly located in the northern states of the country, and the name means warm, which in Damana, the group's language, is used to describe those who come from Colombia's warmer lowlands. This part really was like, you know what, the Jehovah's Witnesses are mad disrespectful. Imagine going to a whole country and finding people doing certain things, and you rock up there in your colonizer ways saying people are abhorrent and satanic. Listen to this. The group ritually used coca leaves as a means of purifying the blood and increasing energy levels throughout the workday. Both religious groups ousted from the territory claim the tradition is abhorrent and satanic. And this for me was a clear indication of colonialism. Colonizers do this thing where when they find indigenous people doing certain practices, they label them like satanic or bad names because they don't want people to take part in those traditions or ceremonies. And these people have been practicing these methods for thousands and thousands of years, way before even Caucasian people existed. So for them to just rock up there and say, you know what, you guys are satanic for doing this, is very disrespectful. And that's why I say the Jehovah's Witnesses are an extension of colonialism. It's clear to see. And we've seen how also Western governments have done this, where they have demonized and classified certain substances as very dangerous. They will fry your brain, and this is not true. And this is not me encouraging people to use these substances, but this is me saying that a lot of research was halted when it was discovered that certain substances actually work in certain ways on people's minds. They help people deal with their traumas. They help people manage their emotions. The Wiwa people, for example, here use coca leaves for energy throughout the day, and colonizers have a problem with this. I don't want to get too much into this because this video is not about that, but if you are interested, look up these documentaries on Netflix. They will really teach you more about substances, and then you will learn how governments have actually used them to weaponize against the general public, because once people wake up, they are not easy to subdue, they're not easy to control, and you are like the Wiwa people, where you're saying, I will protect what's mine. You will not come here and destroy, colonizer. Let's carry on with the article. In 1996, the Wiwa expelled a group of evangelicals after they set up a Protestant church on their land in the 1950s, aggressively teaching the community to stop following the traditional deities and embrace the Christian faith. Imagine, guys, imagine indigenous people just rocking up into Europe or wherever and telling people, oh my gosh, you are damn for praying to this god, you are satanic, you are demons. Like, you know, it's if things were the other way around, yeah, we know how things would be perceived. Anyways, the United Pentecostal Church of Colombia, who have also been expelled by the Weaver, also targeted the area and began a program of indoctrinating the indigenous population. In 2014, Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos signed an executive order that bestows a degree of autonomy on the country's indigenous peoples, enabling communities to manage their own financial, health, educational, and religious issues. According to Colombia's Ministry of Culture, the Wiwa are a population of just 13,000 people, of which 6,000, almost 7,000 are men and almost 7,000 are women. 79% of their population are under 30 years and only 2% are adults older than 60 years. And when I saw this is where I noted that the Jehovah's Witnesses will really go to very extreme lengths to exploit free labor and invest in it as well, because this population is very young. Like literally 79% of everyone there is under 30 years. So yes, 14,000 does seem like a small number, but don't forget the Jehovah's Witnesses are playing the long game. They're not, you know, concerned about converting a large amount of people in a short amount of time. They actually want to convert a small group of people who will grow into a large group over a certain period of time. So that's what I mean, that they are very much willing to exploit and invest in free labor. They were probably thinking that, hey, 14,000 people, young people, free labor, build the kingdom halls, they can go out and preach to more people, they will have children. So they were probably thinking, we possibly hit a gold mine here. We could really grow this community and have this whole region to ourselves. I don't know what they were thinking, but I know they were definitely investing in free labor and trying to exploit these young people. Let's finish off the article. The Wiwa mainly work in agriculture and grow and harvest cassava, yams, taro, bananas, corn, beans, sugar cane, and cocoa for family consumption. Coffee is their main source of trade. And that's where the article ends. And to me, when I saw this, I was like, you know what? We need to be more like indigenous people in terms of protecting our belief systems, protecting who we are as people, that people shouldn't just feel, you know, that, hey, I can just wake up today, go to another region and try to convert them to my faith. Like, we must all protect who we are as people, just like indigenous people, just like these people from Colombia who said, no, no, thank you. Nope. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go, to leave our young people and stop trying to indoctrinate them. And it's time for you guys to bounce. But yeah, the religion is definitely failing and they are becoming desperate. They are becoming very desperate. And for them to do this in 2016 was very telling about their desperation, that they've been in trouble for a couple of years. They've actually been in trouble for a couple of years, and not just since 2020, but a couple of years before 2020. Well, that's why I leave you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.